Okay. Oh, 今天是OK, sorry, I have to try this. So what is it? This is for the 2024 Netmark Agent booking. This is topic 22. Okay, I think I pressed the record button. Okay, and the today we're gonna talk about the commercial offer using SkySlope. Okay, so welcome guys. Okay, we're gonna start it now. Okay. I'm going to cover some of the major topic. Not going to, some of the steps is repeating again and again in the residential, so I'm not going to probably go over the ending part, but for the we'll put a little bit more time on the how you're going to prepare, whether you're going to decide that this is good for you to make an offer or something like that, to some evaluation for the business. So we're gonna choose a topic today is the making offer for the business without property. Okay, it's not about property, not about condo. It's about just the business buying purpose. I think this is the more popular, and the is many college and student asking this kind of questions. So I put on this training, and I use one of the pretty good example, which is a done deal before, like last year. I was helping one of our agents doing this, so I think this is pretty good example. Of course, some of the actual figure, real figure, I hide it. Okay, I just try to simulate this is a case. Okay, but some of the data is already public, so I don't mind using that. But some of the data is private, so confidential, so I will hide it. And just using our own data to do that. Okay, but this is would be very good sample, very good example for you guys to learn and then to use as a sample to do your offer. Okay, so the case we're gonna use as before. The step we have before is the MLS, searching the listing and then jump to the SkySlope. Same thing, nothing just special. Okay, but and then we're going to use the campaign from the commercial, from our brokerage campaign for commercial. Okay, as I mentioned from my last training for the residential offer or residential listing, we don't use a weekend realtor anymore. This including the commercial side. Okay, so if you try to find something start from A1, 0815 is gone. Okay, somebody say A12, no, there's no need anymore because you have a recall info guy basically give you the same thing, same idea. So why you repeat again, right? So this is a good thing. That means you have one less phone to deal with. Okay, but the recall info guy, you probably need to pay more attention now. Okay, I mentioned before, there's a couple ways to do that, and then you can choose one of them. If you're not familiar with that, you can go back to my previous training video and take a look. Offer in business for in listed premise, that means no property. Okay, so this one we are talking about using the form like 502, and then using the transfer 1320. They changed again, just two versions already this year, and then we will have schedule B and C and 160. Okay, so because I'm also simulating myself as an agent to buy this business. Okay, and then the last thing we're gonna have just the FinChat. FinChat we have because this is commercial. We have a 631 and 630. 630 for individual, 331 for the corporate. If you try to ID this company, you will use the 631. Okay, but if you have somebody just using the own name as the buyer, personal name, then you will say something. John Smith in trust for the company to be incorporated, something like that. Okay, So in my case, I use my name and then to simulate this. And then you have prepared SkySlope form and the signature. This time I will use a template as I created a template for myself because there's quite many form involved. So I just try to save time and then we'll create the template from the company template and then create my own template with all the form ready. So next time, if I want to deal with this similar kind of a commercial offer for the property for the business without property, then I can do that. Okay, so you can do the same thing. I will still how to do that. And then next thing, chat signing, download, and email. I'm not gonna go over this at the end. You can always go back to my previous video to see that. Okay. I think I need to get out the Lease point. Okay, that's good. Now, before you're making an offer, you want to consider a business whether it is good enough for your clients. Your clients will always have some choice, some of conditions that ask you to evaluate, right? So let's say they have a budget around 100,000 and they want to buy a small business, okay, in somewhere in Markham, somewhere in Richmond Hill, right? And your client probably in this case not doesn't really want to do restaurant business because it's just too much work, and probably thinking about something like a store, a boutique store, something like a clothes store, something like that, right? To make it to have something to do with the in a little bit better environment for them. Okay, that's what your client want. Okay, or some of the client may want somewhere with beauty salon, something like that. Okay, so this case, you will do some evaluation. You have to think about if this is worth it or not. Okay, and if not, then you gotta give them the advice, give them the reason, something like that. Okay. So we're gonna look at what's the seller's name, the company name, trademark, franchise, and then we're gonna have to look at the business name. Maybe business name is the store name, something different from the seller's name. Okay, it's not a company, but you're gonna put on the contract, put on your offer. Okay, so you would need that. Zoning, present use, if it's still in operation, still operating the business, this is very important. Okay. And the present use, you have to pay attention because if this is property, this unit is good for the beauty salon, but it doesn't mean that always mean that it's good for another thing like related to the beauty salon, like a medical aesthetic clinic. It may be just nothing to do with operation things. It just something to do with some medical things to apply to the facial kind of thing. But that is not allowed. Okay, so many of the this shopping retail store, they will say this is only good for beauty salon. Okay, but if you try to apply anything related to medical, no, this store is not good for it. This unit is not good for it because this unit probably is located in the first floor. If you want something like a medical related aesthetic clinic, then you go to the second floor, right? So in this case, if you didn't pay attention before closing, when you do the checking on the zoning or checking with the property management, and when you write down in the present use, you didn't mention that, then you get in trouble. We have this one of the complaint cases came in last year. Is the same as I mentioned as the same case. So pay attention to the present use before you write it down. Okay. Overpricing, is it overpriced? Is it undervalue, overvalue? What is the cap rate? If you have any business background, if you have a business training background, then you probably quite familiar with this, right? If you have a finance background, no problem at all. You can read the income statement. You can see whether it is a projected data or it's audited, right? It's a real or just something they think of. Also, because this is not about the property, this is a pure business. So in this case, you're gonna consider about ROI, PE ratio, this kind of cash flow, this kind of thing will help your client to decide. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit about this kind of formula in this training, but I'm not going for too details. Now, for all the terms, if you're not familiar, you can try to use the ChatGPT to look into that and then try to give an example, explain it, something like that. It will do a very good job for you. Okay. Now, for the remaining terms in the head list, okay, so because you're buying a business, they're still operating. They suppose they have the remaining time in the leasing term, and what is the renewable terms, that kind of thing. You have to really pay attention and write it down in the offer. Okay, and also you pay attention about non-competition clause. Okay, the seller, okay, the owner agrees to sell the business to you this month, and then maybe after 6 months or 3 months, you're gonna operate another store, the same store, just nearby. Then you have this you have this trouble with the computation, right? So you want to write it down maybe within 10 kilometer, 8 kilometer, within 3 years. The owner is not allowed to operate the same business close by, right? And then if you look at the rental items, equipment, shuttle, closing day, this is the same as the residence. Okay, the rest of them is there. But before that, before the number 6, they are all commercial related. Okay, then you're gonna decide to do it or not. Okay, is it good for there? Is it too good to be true, or is it too risky? Okay. And then the next thing you're gonna look at that is we're gonna pick up this one, as I mentioned. That this is the business, but this is a done deal, okay, and done by one of our company agents. Look at this price is pretty good. Okay, list out about 120, 120, and sold it for 100K. Okay, and this is store located in Markham, Union Field, and pretty nice area in the store. And this is a successful case. Okay, so I'm gonna bring up a failure case. Then you don't have anything. You don't want to talk about that, right? You know, sometimes you want to learn from the good thing first. Now, the failure case, maybe when you get into that, then you will learn more. Okay. So the first thing we check the company, because they mentioned in this listing that company name, which is the seller name, is this one. Then you can find in the Google, okay, and find the key. So of course, this is already old data, okay, because they changed the owner. Now this is the data you're gonna use in your offer, okay. Of course, you're gonna confirm it with your listing agent, okay. And then, but you can find it, you can verify, you cross check. That's all you need to do with your due diligence, right? And then you search to Google. That's what I mentioned, right? And you can find out what kind of the company is still operating, where's the address. You know, do your checking, do your due diligence. You know, and then before making the offer. Okay, so and also they have this Instagram. You can check about their logo. Okay, and this logo probably will have a trademark related, as I mentioned. If this is a franchise or this is just their own business, they have a trademark. If they have a trademark, then this is probably a good deal, right? Because the trademark always costs time and money. It's hard to get. But if it's not included trademark, what's happening? What's the problem? You want to check it out, right? This is all you need to do, okay, as a professional agent, buyer agent for business, for commercial, okay. If you're not doing that, later on you get in trouble. Your client gonna complain you, okay. So why are you doing that? Why not that? So for good, I would do this. So I pull out this name, go to the trademark database and check it out. Boom, I find it. This guy, this trademark is not active. Okay, it's being abandoned. So this is a problem because somebody complained that they have a default notice. So probably this trademark is something very similar to other trademark already in their base. So somebody complained about that. So they have a correspondent. Then if they add on that, they can dispute. I'm gonna spend another probably five grand to 10 grand to the lawyer, trademark lawyer, because I went through this kind of thing before for my own business, so I know that. And then your lawyer come back saying, okay, you're gonna wait for another 6 months, 8 months, and then for a second run of the public notice, and then see if any correspondent come back. So maybe after a year or two, then you will get a trademark. Okay, so trademark is always the one good thing, the one access for your business. Okay, if you have this business including the value active trademark, that is a good deal. Okay, but look at the price they're selling is 120K. So I don't think they're gonna have this right thing. So my gut feeling is this trademark is gone. So you're not longer able to use it. Okay, that means you're buying just basically the business without a logo, without a name. So you're gonna have this location, this unit. Okay, maybe some training, maybe some operation, some clients from the business, and that will cost you 100K. Worth it? Then you need the next level of analysis. Okay, I hope you'll follow me. Now, boom, this is the turnout. After they buy it, they have to change all the logo. They expand the business. They do it pretty good. So this is in business. So this is a good deal. Okay, so why? So we look at the original statement. Okay, so this is something confidential before the. This is not public data, so I fake it. Okay, so but you need to ask the listing agent to provide this kind of data. So all this data I fake it. Okay, but it's quite close. Okay, anyway, so you need to ask them what is the cost of goods sold. Okay, you need to ask them what's the gross profit, what are the expense, what are the net earnings. Okay, net earnings, the NOI. NOI is very important for you to evaluate whether this business is going on. Okay, so cost of goods sold is 51%, which is a little bit higher than normal. But because this is a boutique store, maybe the cost is higher, right? So if you're talking about restaurant, you should be able to control under 30, right? For the food, for the something like that. So I would say 30% is good, 50% over is a little bit higher. But in this case, this business is doing what? $500,000. That's amazing, right? But the cost is more than 51%. And so gross profit if it under around 50%. This is an excellent deal, right? Did you see that? And then inside car lease, but car lease is a little bit under value, I would say, because the only several $100. So I will add it to adjust it, right? Sometimes you need more of the car thing plus insurance. And they mentioned about the online business. This is including online business, but they didn't mention about the online business expense. There's only office expense like paper or something like that. So I don't think this is realistic. So I will adjust the price, adjust the profit minus 20. So I think adjust to 30K for the NOI, 90K, 30% adjustment should be reasonable. Okay, so it will get it down to 61K for this business. So talking about 61K for this 500K revenue, yeah, probably, yeah, is still a good thing to move on, right? Then you will look at remember the price they mentioned about is 120, right? So, and this is the NOI is 60, so almost 50% of the price, right? So they try to double it and then to sell it. So look at the cap rates. We're talking about using the NOI minus divided by purchase price, which is around 51%, which is very, very high, right? So it's higher than normal. And then we talk about return on investment because you're gonna have the 7% of the interest rate. Down payment is 50K, right? So this deal will give you the profit minus 49 for the first year, and then you will get to the 56K, and the RI is divided by the down payment. You come up is 50K, so we give you like 100. It is very good return, very, very good return, right? So if you're just using that kind of money and this business is doing good, then hey, this is I would say is a gold mine for you, right? a little gold mine. Okay, and the third thing, because it's a business, our cap rate and NOI mostly using on property. Okay, but because the business without property, you need more formula. You need more financial indicator to see if this is good or not. So the third one you're going to use is the price to earn. Price to earning was mostly used to evaluate the stock, to see if this stock is undervalued or overvalued. Undervalued, okay, or overvalued. For the industry in Toronto, using the Toronto Stock Exchange, that means it's replacing all the sectors, industrial sectors in Canada. It would say the current PE ratio is 15.15, right? So now this PE ratio will give you something about 1.92, which is very low. Comparing to the current PE ratio. So that gives you something about twice the annual earnings. So it's undervalued, very undervalued. Okay, so either it's expecting to grow or make something is wrong in this profit earning, or something wrong with the price, something wrong with the business they want to sell. So this could be too good to be true, right? Or maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's not. Who knows, right? So furthermore, you use if you want to deal with a bigger business, a bigger project, you may want to do a discounted cash flow, DCF. Discounted cash flow means you will calculate the present value of the future cash flow for the business. Okay, so you always use the cash flow for the first year, which is 6K. Okay, and then it would use the increase 5% annual rate to calculate the next year the cash flow, and then discount the 10% back to the present value. Okay, and then at the end they add it back for the 5 years. Let's say for the next 5 years, because you have 5 years in the term, you're gonna operate in 5 years. Then you're gonna find out how much money you're gonna get as in terms of cash flow comparing to the price you're gonna pay, right? So we use adjust NOI, which is 61K, so we get something about 265K. Okay, for the next 5 years, the cash flow, and then you would pay about 120. So that means it's around 3 times profit, right? So maybe the first year you will get your money back, and then second year you're getting earning and something like that. So who knows, right? Who knows? This could be a good deal. It could be not a good deal, but talking about you see the good figure. So in our case, we have to simulate that, so we'll go for it, right? Just do it. Consider the risk, market condition, okay? This is the things you need to remind your clients, okay? Not all business will make money. Even though it looks good, but when you operate it, you're gonna be a lot of problem. But you need to tell them, let them make the decision. You don't make the decision for a client. You're just the middle guy, okay? You facilitate the transaction. You give advice, you give suggestion, you tell them the risk, you tell them the good thing, bad thing, and use a paper, write it down, cross line in the middle, ask them to make decision themselves. Okay? Once they make decision, you would grab this evidence for yourself. Okay? What kind of method, what kind of process you're going through your client to make this decision. Okay? I mean, it probably you think it's not worth it. It's 100K of a deal, but every deal is a deal. Okay, if your client is not happy, at the end they go back and complain you, then you're gonna prove it. You know what I mean? So that's why people think commercial deal is hard. Okay, if you don't have that kind of training background, then you may have a lot of time to learn. Interest rate could be a problem. Operating risk. Okay, inventory. If you don't know how to get the inventory from different places, China, if you only have one supplier in local, that will be a problem. You know what I mean? customer satisfaction, operation efficiency, this all kind of thing you need to pay attention and explain to your client about this. Okay, is it a good investment or not? High potential, high risk. Okay, high return, high risk. Make a decision, just do it. Don't spend too much time, just think about it. So definitely this buyer was doing a very good decision, right? He was making a very good decision. And they move on, right? And at the end, they got a good deal, right? They got this substantial business doing it and still doing it now, right? So we look at now we go to the SkySlope. How we're going to do that is offer, right? Because that's the main thing for this commercial deal, for this thing. So we're gonna need to have this item from the RUM. So okay, this is need to pay attention about that. The business name. Sometimes you need to ask the LA to get it. What's the listing brokerage? What's the present use? Okay, this is you're gonna have something in your mind already. What's the listing reminder? Where can you get this information? Of course, in the listing, right? And then where it's gonna be have some inventory included, or some of the shuttles, furniture, some of the machine equipment, anything like that included in the price. You need to put that in your schedule. This time, our standard schedule A will have this as B, but now in this case, we're going to add one more schedule, right? To have those equipment stock things, so we'll put it as C, okay? So we're going to move on to the actual SkySlope. Okay, okay, so we're going to go through the RUM here, okay? Now, this one, because we choose it, right? So we go here, and then that's pretty much the information all you need for that. For the seller name, as I mentioned, this is a seller name, right? And the commission is 4% because it's such low price. 4% is like a couple of rental deal, right? Maybe some of the rental deals is higher than that. Now this is what other than this. What do you see? No business building name. Now sometimes they use Informax. So this is not enough. Okay, this is just the brand kind of thing. So I ask them about that, and then the rent. Okay, monthly. Oh, so this is gross rent. That's good. So that means you don't need to worry about EMI, just the kind of thing. So that's all included. But this could be you have 2 years to run with that, and then another 5 years. So it's 2 plus 5 plus 5. Okay. So without saying that, because there's no land registry, because there's no property, it's just this is you can see that if this guy sold it before, no, he's trying to rent it out, right? Rent it out. Oh, he sold it for 200,000. Okay, 2 to 5. So now this is 2011. So because that's the time that maybe because of COVID, right? So you want to sell it lower, 100 grand lower. So that's reasonable, right? So in this kind of time, if you can catch a good business, maybe, yeah, I would say maybe that's probably is a good catch. Okay, so now we go to the SkySlope form. Here, we're gonna use it as the this one just coming already. Good. So we're gonna have this buyer now because this is the business. We're gonna because otherwise you don't have a room to write it, right? Because you say, oh, this is I still using a personal name. But if you're not using this as the organization name, you cannot write it on that long sentence, right? I mentioned it before. So in this case, you will say, I simulated myself again, right? And plus, for the company should be incorporated. Okay, so that would be good. And then you can write something like that. So we printed it first thing. Because this is for the company, right? So you still do that. And then that would image. That's the email address, right? Okay, so that's good thing. And then this one you would just probably write something like this. Okay. And next. Also. This is February 24. That's good. Now for the template, I mentioned before I create my own template, but I'm not going to jump to here because you're not seeing you're not seeing this in your SkySlope, but you should be able to see this, right? So from here you will see the commercial. There's commercial. The rest is residential. Okay. So the first three, this one is about what? This is about the freehold, commercial freehold offer to live, purchase. This is including the property. This is including the condo, the condo unit, okay? And then this is the one that not including any property, okay, without property. So this one look good, then you put a click, right? And then you move on. Okay, and don't say it. Okay, now you will get this. Okay, so for this, I mentioned before, you will have to use the Rico info guide, and then you're gonna do the BRA for the commercial. Okay, and then because your seller is agent, you want to use 160, and then the rest, this and this and this is what is for offer. Okay, and this one is also for the hey, it looks like I already have this template applied. Yes, I know. And let me see. Oh yeah, it's already filled up. Okay, so it looks like when you apply template before, it will do the job for you. Okay, so it doesn't matter now. So I'm gonna select all. Okay, so let's say this is all the form we're gonna fill up. Okay, and then if there's something coming from, then you can you always get it back from the form library. Okay, and then fill and send. Okay, so the first one will be, as I mentioned, it will be a Rico info guide because this is required by Tracer, and you have to do it. Okay, this is the form. You're gonna scroll down to the end, fill in your own agent name, company name, the day is day today, and the buyer name. Okay. Now for here, you can still use the personal name because it's not incorporated for a company, right? So use the personal name, send this name over or send this form over to your buyer, that would be fine. And then 540 for the BRA, you're looking at the brokerage address, and then the this should be the brokerage phone number. But anyway, this is fine. This is your address, okay? And then the should write down the address for your clients here, okay? And then you will have the designated agent's name, which is sell. And then you have this commencing day as as I mentioned, right? If today you're gonna make offer, you want to put today as the commencing day because let's say for commercial, you already spend almost a month with a client to find the place, then you put the first day of this month. Okay, give it a couple of weeks to make this thing look better. Okay, of course you kind of gonna agree with that. Okay. Well, if it really case of that just a couple of days ago you can't find it and boom, today you find it, then just put a couple of days ago. Okay, be realistic, but that's okay. Expiring with the put down 3 months, 4 months, that's okay. Okay, it's up to you and your client. Usually for commercial, we put a little bit longer day. Okay, so February, March, April, May. So 3 or 4 months. Okay. And then for property use, commercial retail, okay, the location, we'll say Toronto market, Richmond Hill, and the deal is in market, right? So this one is okay. Service provided. If you don't have any specific service asked by your client, you don't put it here. Okay. And next one, this is like a holdover day. Remember, in the residential, you have holdover. It means after this term expire, you still have 90 days for your buyer to submit offer through you. Okay, this is the deal. So make it better, even better than residential. Right? Residential means if they find another agent, you're gonna just pay you the difference, right? So this is something that different across that if you compare with the residential. And the buyer agreed to pay you because you're talking about around 100,000 price tag, so 4% should be reasonable, right? If you're 2.5%, then you should do a rental, right? But if you want to learn, of course, you can always learn then with a lower price. So this is the or you will use the MLS. Okay, this is very similar to a residential, and then the rest very same. Right? Okay, basically is same thing here, and then your name, the day, acknowledgement because you're using electronic signing to the things right away. Okay, so this part up to now, this two form you're gonna send it to your client for your client only. Okay, you're gonna keep a record. You don't send it to the other guys. Okay, only you. And then all the forms underneath will be the offer documents that you will need to send it to who? To your listing agent. Okay, to the listing agent. So now 160, I mentioned so many times before. Okay, just same thing. Put down the agent name, salesperson, and then you will have this buyer is realtor, right? Because assimilating myself, REA. Okay, that's it. Okay, so the signature we're gonna put on there, right? This is missing, right? Signature is making a decision, so it's okay. And you're gonna have the signature there, and this is the seller's name. Seller gonna acknowledge that. That's good. Now AO1, okay, for commercial, most of the time they don't need to see your AO1 because they're not going to do something like the bidding offer for commercial, right? So that kind of unless it's a very big deal, something like Apple Store with the bidding, something like that, right? No, they're not doing that. So most likely you are not required to fill it, but if they want it, then you fill it out. It's very simple thing, right? Put down the name, put agent name, and then if they ask you to register offer, then pretty much you want to fill out this one, okay? And then the buyer name. Now this wrap up because this one is too short. I don't know why they designed it this way. So it's not coming the whole thing. So that's why L1 in this case is not really useful, right? So, but you cannot do anything because once you click it, you go to here. So then you don't want to change it, then you will change the whole thing. So just leave it like that. That's fine, because you're going to have offer coming in later on. Will have full name, right? So this one will by email, file card today, and give them more than 24 hours to decide until tomorrow night. That's it for your L1. Now we move to 502. 502 is the what? Business in permit. That means no property. So that's good. Don't make the wrong form, right? And then this is the buyer, as I mentioned, seller. Okay. Now the business name in the listing, they just only use Infamous, right? We're gonna have a little bit longer because we're gonna buy this store, right? So we put down a little bit more name and longer name just to identify the whole thing. So you double check with the listing agent, okay, and put it on this business name. It's not really need to be something like this, but this is better. It's a good way to identify, okay. And then the address, okay, and then the dollar amount. So let's say you want to bargain, right? Because this is business. Business always about bargaining, right? Even though they ask for 120, you feel pretty low, but you want to start from lower, right? So let's make it even just starting from this 100K, okay? And then if that's including any inventory, no, they're not going to include inventory. You don't want to put the inventory here, right? You want to separate deal with that. Sometimes you might want to negotiate this, that, but it's up to you. From my experience, better leave it away, okay? We just talk about business now. Inventory, I may not need it. I don't feel it is good for me. Maybe my business is expanding. Now your inventory is old, right? So because I don't know, it's up to you, okay? I'll appoint acceptance for the deposit. Now this is not good. Why is $5? Okay, so it should be what? $5,000 for the deposit, 5%, right? It's up to you, right? You want to give them more, that's fine. But I mean, he's always asking. It's not if they're not asking for more, then why you put more, right? If it do not happen in the end, they're gonna have this deposit holding, and then you're gonna do the mutual release, spend time to get it back. So as low as you can, as the buyer side, right? Unless they ask for 10%, right? But then you ask why. Okay, you can always make your own decision for that. So, what's the worst thing is, the worst thing they will tell you bad, right? To increase that. So in this case, we have schedule A and B and C. B is their what? Deposit related information. C is the what? The shuttle lease. They're gonna include it in the in this deal. Okay. So I suppose I should have a shuttle lease here, but it's not seeing that anyway. So this is the for buyers to not be able to to revert this offer. So we put a buyer because this is an offer from the buyer, okay? And it will give you to what? To tomorrow, right? So that's wrong, okay? On the 5th day of the 2024. Now this is good, right? So we're gonna put that PM. So sometimes the template thing, you would try to modify, right? So not good. So better double check it before you send it to a signature. Compression day is let's say you made a deal after 2 months, you want to do it quickly, right? February, March. So a little bit more than 2 months. So this should be good. Okay, 30. Okay, and then the email. Now this is the non-competition clause I mentioned before. This is the other than the seller name. There was someone included in the business, maybe the principal, maybe the owner. You can put it on here. If they have more than one owner, you try to put it there, right? You just try to limit them. And they may come back and say, no, they are just shareholder or something like that. So get as much information as you can, right? So just when you try, if you feel interesting about this deal, you would ask them, right? So how many owners you have, how many shareholders, how many operators, something like that, right? And once you get their name, you ask them, oh, so for non-competition, if one of the owner want to decide to open another store just beside me, or just 500 meter across the road, then this is not gonna deal. It's not gonna do that. So and they will say, okay, include the name. Okay. So because in this case, pretty much they want to get out of business, so they don't mind to put in the name. So you always put it like a 10 kilometer. If you feel 10 is not good, you can put it 15 kilometer, okay? Just to limit this computation. For how long? 3 years, okay? 3 years I think is reasonable, right? So now if you're thinking 3 years is no good, put it 5 years, okay? But 5 years they may complain, right? They may come back, no. Okay, title search or something about search position, they're not open order, something like that, is you will need 2 weeks at least for the lawyer. This is not really about buying the business, buying the company stock kind of thing. So this is just it's not buying the shares, right? It's just buying the business. Just the location, the lease term, right? Nothing else, right? So there's not much things to deal with. So two-way streaming now. And for the present use, you better put it down as much detail. You want to keep it like that. Commercial retail should be fine, but if you don't think that that's good enough for their present use, their boutique store, then you put them more. Okay, nobody say you should only put on commercial. You can also put on commercial retail, commercial office, commercial what, right? And this case, retail for boutique store. And sometimes if you're doing the beauty salon, right, you want to know if this present use, if you think this is a present use for medical, aesthetic use, then you put it on. Okay? If the seller sign it, that means they have to guarantee this going to be no change for you to close this deal. Okay? If you put it wrong, then you come back, your client say, hey, no, I'm not just to put this alone. I'm gonna do more, then you get in trouble. Okay, now this is something like if you have any encumbrance, name, loan, something like that, you can write that. But definitely they will say no, right, for this business, because you're not buying their business, their company, then you're not putting there. For the lease term is 255, right? As I mentioned in the listing. And this is the rental, right? And on expire date, we don't have to put it down, okay? Because you want to have some room there unless they want you to put it down, okay? Okay, employee, no. The rest, fine, okay? Just like the residential, okay? And then the information, acknowledgement, this is good. Okay, some entertainment, I don't see. Oh, this is a D missing. Anyway, that should be fine. Trust commission agreement now for the Schedule A. Okay, most of them is our standard template. I don't want you guys to remove them or change them. Except for this one, if you have a Schedule D, you put Schedule D here. Okay, this Schedule D, C will be something for the shuttle lease or equipment. So basically, you will use the 504. I think I have a Schedule D here, so we'll see that. Okay, and then list down the items. Okay, the rest just the same thing. You can take a look. Okay, protecting the buyer or be fair on the both sides. Don't worry that GST, outstanding contract, the consideration offer purchase convenience same free. Well, I leave you guys to read it through. It's nothing special. If you don't understand any clause, put it down to GPT. Ask GPT to give you an example to explain it. It's provided by, it's a repeating. Maybe. Okay, agree to work for the business regular hours. Both parties agree this. Conditional being able to approve landlord to enter in the assignment. Yeah, this is the lease term, right? The remaining lease term. Now the condition will be very important. Do not remove this condition, okay? Allow you to observe. Because you don't know if the figure, the number coming out is good or not. As I mentioned, when you get the income statement, that could be a projected data. Now, projected data date back to the lifetime, that's wrong, right? But you have no idea. You're not sure about whether this number coming from, right? You probably ask them to prove it, but they may say, oh no, we don't keep the detailed data, right? So you will need to put a discount on the earning, that kind of thing. Okay, so always ask for proof. Always go there to see it yourself, to count in the store and to see what happened with the online store, to see e-commerce site, everything, right? HST, sales record, that kind of thing, expense. You're gonna verify all those. Okay, don't just make assumption. Okay, at the end you may find it very just surprise, right? Like the earning is actually not that much, right? The offer deliver buyer of this, the lease. Okay, so this is the condition, CP condition precedence, right? Then later on, if you find this is all good, then you're gonna give waiver, okay, and then go for that. And the solicitor buys lawyer to review, okay, for 5 days. So this is good, right? First thing is good because this is the buyer to certify, right? Nothing to say that. Buyer just observe and then say if I feel good or not, right? There's nothing to prove. This is what I have to probably ask your lawyer to prove, right? But anyway, being able to approve to enter the franchise agreement with the franchise, but in this case, we don't have franchise, right? So in this case, you may want what? Liquor license, you don't have it. Well, the approved Ontario notary, you're not going to do that. Condition about the negotiated franchise agreement, no. Right? It's not a franchise. So, okay. So that's good. Okay. And then, wow. Why this line is closing? Oh, because here. Okay, so move a little bit. See, you're able to adjust. I don't know where is, oh, here is the problem, right? Now save. Still give you a, okay. So it's scrolling too fast. Going all the way. Okay, now this is good, right? Looks good. Now the cooperation confirmation, cooperation. Well, this is the new form. Okay, they changed again. Okay, but it's really easy to understand now because you're doing the typical normal deal, right? Just one, two company involved, two agent involved. This is very easy to fill out, right? It's nothing about multiple representation. Under tracer is pretty much the same for this kind of situation. For this case, that would be the listing agent taking care of the seller. Okay, listing care is not representing the buyer. That's it. That's good. Okay. Now, it's not a multiple representation. You skip it. It's not by buyer bookage. You skip it. You are the cooperating bookage, right? So you tag A, and then designated representation, yes. And then this one you also want to check, and the commission is as per MLS. If you don't feel good, you can put down or 4%, or 4% or MLS. Okay, you put it as MLS. This is true. If you have this one, then you don't need this one. Okay. Now this is good. The address and good. No, you don't have to worry about that. Here, good. Okay, Schedule B, that's where you download it from the listing, right? Fill it in outside or here. Doesn't matter because the time is so filled out already. Okay, two pages of Schedule B, pretty long. This is what I mentioned about Schedule C. Okay, Schedule C, you fill out the same thing. The form is 504. You leave it to fill out this, and then you will say the purchase price include the following equipment item, right? 2 sofa, 3 coffee table, 3 coffee machine, 1 door refrigerator, something like that. Okay? And this item includes the sales are to be transferred to buyer in the current condition and the time of sale closure. Okay? So that's perfect. That's almost done. So we're gonna do the signing. Okay? Need to sign, yourself need to sign. Go over there. But you have too many forms, so okay. Okay, so remember these two forms you don't send, right? So at the end of the signing, you will download a big zip file, and then you will unzip the file and send this two form, hit this two form, and send the rest to your listing agent. Okay, as I mentioned before, again and again. So this one here, we're gonna have what signature for real estate agent, right? So this one, you don't need it. Then we have signature for the buyer. That's it. Okay, this is good. This time they put it in, right? Remember last time it's gone. This is good. This is good. This is good. Now this is signature for yourself as an agent to not miss out here, right? Oh. Like that. Good. Now here you need another one. Our name signature. Somebody say you don't need a date here. Yeah, just leave it like that. Nobody will complain. This is good. This is acknowledgement of the same day. Good. This is the disclosure for yourself, right? Now you need the signature. Signature. Oh, why you put a name here? Okay, signature here. That's fine, right? Put a name and all. It's not a big deal. Okay, so you don't have to get the broker record signing, as I mentioned it before, right? For now, because once they accept your deal, then you make it back. That's fine. This is the A1. This is signature there. Good. Now this is the file 2. Anything you need to pay attention, make sure this is good. This is good. Okay, this is seller sign it. This is good. This is initial. This is your initial. This is what? Buyer signature. Under seal. This is good. Confirmation. Now this is just the information. You don't have to sign. This is the acknowledgement, right? For the buyer. Again. Right? Done. Schedule A. Done. 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 Good. This is good. This is good. Now, remember last time they have an initial there. Now they don't. Now this is bad because this is we don't have a multiple presentation, right? So this is good. Now signature here for what? For the agent, and this is the seller side. Schedule B. Haha, that's the stuff they're missing. Engineers over here. Okay. And then is over here. And this is the schedule C, right? You would do the signing as well. Oh, they signed already because this is their own form, right? This is something you upload. Okay, now you can do send. Again, send for signature. That's it. So I'm not gonna do it anymore because it's already almost 1 hour. This thing I repeat again already on the previous video, training video. Just basically go through the signing. Take. There's nothing really special, really hard, straightforward things. So pretty much stop for here for today's training from here. I hope this will help you guys to make your next offer for the commercial without the property deal. Okay, so I would stop recording.